Good morning, and thanks for your time. Thanks for joining our webcast today, Self-Service SCOM with au2mator. Just a few introduction, a few important things. We will record this meeting or this presentation to provide a video at the end to you to see it afterwards. If you have any questions, I would ask you to write them into the chat window. I will try to do my best to answer them during the session. After the 30 minutes, around 30 minutes, and we finish the official part, we then can turn on the mics and discuss if you have any questions. But please, during the webcast, just ask you to write the questions into the window, into the chat window, please. So thanks for your time. And thanks for your time to see how to self-service SCOM with au2mator. Who is already familiar with au2mator, you know you can do a lot of things with au2mator as a front end for automation. In this case, we focus on SCOM related topics. So we see a lot of SCOM services, SCOM examples, what our customer are doing. So that's a highly SCOM related webcast today. So a short introduction, au2mator. au2mator was founded 2015 in Austria in Europe with the idea to provide an easy-to-use self-service portal to trigger System Center Orchestrator runbooks or automation. In 2019, so 4 years after our founding, we enhanced au2mator to trigger more automation engines. So now you can simply trigger easily a PowerShell script. You can connect it to Azure Automation, of course, System Center Orchestrator or System Center SMA. And now we are really happy to help customers all around the globe to self-service their IT and with different automations. So we have a lot of customers using more than one automation engine. We have customers only using one and migrating. So it's completely up to you. If you like PowerShell, Azure Automation, or Orchestrator, just feel free to use all of them or just your favorite one. What are we doing today? A quick introduction what au2mator is for those who are not familiar yet. And then we head over to our demo environment to see how all this fits together. So we see how to build those services, to build this automation. And then we see a few showcases, highly SCOM related, and we have a quick part, a short part to see what else you can do. So it is not only related to SCOM, you can do many things more than only to self-service your SCOM environment. And at the end, we take a look at the license and return of investment. And at the end, we have our Q&A. As I said before, if you have any questions, please type them into the chat window. And after our official part, we can turn on the mics and discuss if you have any questions. So how this all works together. First of all, you have to build the automation. So write your PowerShell script, write your Azure Automation runbook, or create your Orchestrator runbook and configure those automation with some initialized data. So you need to put in some values. For example, for the user onboarding, you need the first name, the last name, the department, and then the automation will create your users in your environment. And then you get some return back. And au2mator then comes in part to build a nice front end for your automation services. So you then build the service, you can connect it to your automation, you configure your questions. You have some very many question types, different question types to use. So simple text, integer, date picker, LDAP query, SQL query, file picker, and so on. Then you also can configure an approval workflow. So if someone needs to approve those automation before it happened, then you can configure an approval. Someone needs to say okay, and then the automation will be triggered. For example, someone needs to approve request a software or any access rights to any system, then someone needs to approve, and then the automation will be triggered. And you can configure role-based access. So all your forms can be limited to a specific amount of users. So for example, user onboarding for the HR department, SCOM tasks to business service owners or to your SCOM team, and so on. And then the user can start this request. He is, if configured, waiting for the approval. Then the automation is triggered and everything is done, and he gets returned back from the automation. So the result, was it successful? Yes or no? Was the user created? What was the username, password, and so on? And why should we do all this? Because automation helps to improve and to secure. Of course, if you build an automation, for example, always the same, but because it's a highly requested example, user onboarding. If you write a script or an automation task, a workflow, for the user onboarding is always executed the same way, so you improve all your work. And to secure, if you go back to SCOM, right now, if you want to start a maintenance mode or schedule a maintenance mode or add an agent, you need someone log into the console and to do this stuff. And usually it needs to be an SCOM administrator or a highly awaited role. Automation or front-end or self-service is not needed. Someone needs an admin role in the application. You just provide us a front-end where you can trigger those actions, and then the automation is done by a service user. So then you can secure your environment because you do not need those much application admins, domain admins, system admins, or whatever. Self-service will speed up, of course. So someone can request something. You do not need to call a phone, create a ticket. And of course, if someone is new to a system, you do not need to learn it, how to use it. Just put them in front of the self-service and you can request all the stuff and do the stuff. And in the end, everyone is happy because self-service will make the IT and the end users, of course, happy. Now we switch over to our demo environment. Right now you see our demo server, and I want to take a look on how to build those servers. First, we see a simple example to start a maintenance mode. So that is the result, and if you see that, then we go back in the backend. How we can create those services. So to start the maintenance mode, I select the distributed application. Those list is live from the SCOM database, so we do not need to type that in any separate list. We get this directly from the SQL database. So I want to choose this distributed application. I want to do it for 10 minutes. I select the reason. It is planned other. And I want to do a comment. It is test. And now I click finish. So that's the experience. That's the front end. Someone triggers a form, select all the necessary informations, and then he triggers and starts the form. A few seconds later, and all you know, SCOM is now really fast. The maintenance mode is already set, and we received, if you like, an email as confirmation that we successfully started the maintenance mode. Or what we also did, a Teams integration to get adaptive cards. So we can choose if you want to receive an email or a Teams notification when the service is finished and what is the result. So that's the front and the end result. How to get there? First, you need to create your PowerShell script. So in this case, this is our start maintenance mode script. The very important part is those initialize init parameters. So we need to put in the DA, the time, the reason into the PowerShell script. So we need to configure those parameters at the beginning. So we configured the SCOM DA, the duration minutes, the reason, and the comment, and some built-in initialize data. Then we have a lot of error handling and functions, but the main part is will be done here. In our case, because we use PowerShell 7 and SCOM isn't unfortunately not ready to use PowerShell 7, we need to do an invoke command. But at the end, we do nothing less than get the SCOM instance and to start the maintenance mode with this end time and so on and the reason. So that's the simple part. Build your automation, put in those initialized data and write your PowerShell script and the automation, and then you can connect it to au2mator. So how is this done? Let's go back to the portal, see service, and just create a new one for test, SCOM, and then start. You need to select the service group, this dev. You can select a nice image, that's fine. And the most important thing is we need to select our PowerShell script. So let's see, SCOM, start the maintenance mode. So that's the script you saw before with those initialized parameters. And those initialized parameters are then presented to you to be configured as questions. So as you see, we have the SCOM DA, we have the duration in minutes, the reason, and the comment. So that's the easy part. Just configure your PowerShell or Azure Automation or orchestrate the runbook, connect it to au2mator, and the questions are built. To save a little bit of time, we head over to the existing one and to see what we've done here. Start maintenance mode, this one. And how we configured those questions. And as you see, to select the distributed application, we just use a SQL query and go to the Operations Manager database and get all the distributed applications. So you don't have to do any separate lists or something like this. You go directly to the SCOM SQL server. Duration in minutes is a simple integer field, so type in a number. The reason as well, we get this from the SCOM database, and the comment is a simple text field. That's it. Other scenarios or other things, you also, of course, can stop a maintenance mode. And here, of course, it makes sense to select only those distributed applications which are already in maintenance mode. So we select the client service, we select the comment test is over. And after a few seconds, the SCOM distributed application should be out of maintenance mode. As you know, SCOM is not the quickest one. We need to wait a few seconds. This is done. Maybe we head over to the next and then take a look. Well, other examples. We can create a maintenance mode schedule. So it should be on the second page. Yes, a maintenance mode schedule, also an example. Select your start and your end date. I want to do my file service upgrade. So we migrate to OneDrive and then we need to put it in the maintenance mode. It is planned and application maintenance and finish. And also after a few seconds, now the maintenance mode is gone. So this is from the first one. And now in a few seconds, the maintenance mode schedule should be created. We'll just give SCOM a few more seconds to show it. Otherwise, we head over and take a look later. Yeah, takes SCOM. Of course, you can remove those schedules as well. So remove a maintenance mode schedule. You select the distributed application. And of course, you will be presented by the maintenance mode. Unfortunately, it's not right now. I'm in SCOM. It takes some time. Here you get the list of the schedules you want to start. So you do not need to choose. So the idea is to provide a form where you cannot do any mistakes. So we present you all the SCOM maintenance modes which are in maintenance mode if you want to stop. We present you the schedules you want to remove and so on. We have one more example. A lot of customers are using this to export the SCOM configuration of a group or computer or distributed application. They also created a front end for this. So you can select you want to export from your computer. In our case, we only have one in our demo environment, and I want to export those configuration in file. I want to have it in this file store. And then after a few more seconds, we should see some files in here. And as you saw before, of course, we get the Teams integration. So we get every time a Teams note or an email when the service is finished. You can click on those request details to go back to the portal and see the details. So also this is working fine as well. And our export is now finished, or it is working. And now the complete configuration of those selected computers is then exported and so on. The form is built to export this to a file system or send it to an email. It is as you like, and those are just examples. So if you want to have different questions, if you want to have a different automation, a different process, just build it in your PowerShell script, just change it, and that's it. So those are just examples what we did commonly at our customers. We have some other SCOM examples. Let's scroll down to all the SCOM services. We also have a service built to install or uninstall a SCOM agent. That's mainly useful for server admins. If they install a new server, get a new server, they just easily can install the SCOM agent without any local admins, without any SCOM admins, or so on. You can repair your SCOM agent, so that's a highly requested task to clear those health state and the connection and so on. There are a few steps in there. You can create a monitor group, for example. Let's see on the second page, you can create an event monitor and everything else we saw before. So as I said, feel free if you have a different task, just write the PowerShell script, the automation, put it in, create the service and delegate this to your end users or to your SCOM admins or to your server admins or business service owners, whatever you like. As I said, this is a SCOM related session. We just take 1 or 2 minutes to scroll through all the other possibilities you can do. If you see all our other services in this demo environment, for example, the client service, you can install a client. In user management, you can create a new user or disable a user, add a user to a group. For Azure services, we have examples to remove or add Office 365 licenses. You can create a new Azure VM. This is a new example we did right now. For the end users, they can request the software from SCCM, for example. So we get the software from the SCCM database. He can request. At the end, the automation is nothing. Then put the user or the computer in the corresponding collection, and so the software will be installed. But the huge advantage is you can provide all those steps as self-service. No one needs to call the IT or bother you at the coffee room. So they can request those things over this portal, and it is documented. So a lot of customers using this thing for their regular audits. So everything is documented: who requested, what was the result, who approved, and so on. So everything is documented. For example, a simple thing to add a user to a group. The automation is a one line to add user to group, but it is documented that someone requested or someone from the service desk did this, or to example, reset the password. So usually without any front end, the service desk has to go to the Active Directory to reset the password. Maybe he's choosing the wrong user, maybe he's doing anything wrong. This front end, he cannot do many things wrong, just select the wrong user, okay? But it is documented. So we see who selected what and who requested what and what was the result. What else? Teams is a highly requested function right now, to create a team, to remove teams, to back up a team, add, remove owners or members over those services. Yes, Teams has this functionality that I, as an owner, can add members. But a lot of customers disabled those features, and they want to have this in a front end, that it is documented who has added this user to the team, and maybe he can remove it automatically because it wasn't requested or it was declined. So that's the reason it is documented, and everyone can see who requested that this guy or this is a member of those groups or those teams. Active Directory, update user details, remove user from group, enable, disable user copies, user onboarding, whatever you do in Active Directory, you can build a service for it. So there are a lot of examples. Now we head over back to our presentation. So if you have any questions so far, please type them into the chat window, or we can have a talk after our session. We have a few more minutes left. And we will take a look at the licensing, first of the top 12 services. As you saw, SCOM is a highly used use case to use au2mator with, but there are a lot of different product integrations you can self-service here. So typically uses user onboarding or offboarding. So this is, to be honest, not an IT task. This is an HR task. So build a form where the HR can enter all those values: first name, last name, department, manager, employee number, entry date, leaving date, whatever, and provide this to the HR department. And the automation is just doing Active Directory, Office 365, Azure, Teams, and so on. But the initial trigger needs to be the initial task needs to be triggered by the HR department. Out of Office reply, reset user password, VM provisioning, and it doesn't matter if you create the VM in Azure, in Hyper-V, in VMware, in Amazon Cloud, in Google Cloud, just everything you can touch with the automation, with PowerShell or Azure Automation Orchestrator, and there are a lot of possibilities. You can build your automation and then put it as a front end with Automator. So we just take a time for a question from Nilsson Peter. As I understand that your product is a front end for automation, but does it also include predefined automation scripts? Yes. So all those scripts for SCOM and all those other scripts you saw in the demo environment are free on our GitHub repository. Those are free also for non-automated customers. So head over to our GitHub. You get the link after at the end. Head over to our GitHub repository. We have around 40 plus free scripts right now. And every month we are increasing those numbers and add new services. You can use them for free. You can use them for different things, or you can use, of course, for Automator. But yes, it is not included in the product itself, because the product itself is the front end. But we want to help our customers and provide those scripts for free. And yeah, that's it. So head over to GitHub and get those scripts. Our services. A few of our references, so that's a small list of all our customers all around the globe. So all our happy customers, of course. So a few of them are here from the beginning in 2015, and they're working with Automator and provide those self-service to the IT and to the end users. Now we talk about the license. In our opinion, we tried to do a really easy to understand licensing. We have 4 different packages. Those packages have the same features, the same functionality. There is no difference. The only difference is related to your amount of active Directory users. So if you see, if you're around between 1,000 and 5,000 users in your Active Directory, then you need to get the rookie license. This one costs initially 4,000 euros. And then following with the second year, each year, 20% of the initial license cost. So you're not forced to use the maintenance, so you can stop after 1 year. But without the maintenance, you do not get any support and you do not get any new releases. So I would highly recommend, if you want to work with Automator and enhance your IT department, stay at the maintenance. We are trying to release a new software each 2 up to 3 months. So we build new features. Our customers feature requests. We have a feature request form on our website. We are also talking with customers and get features from them over different channels. So we try to add all those new feature requests, if they make sense, of course, into the next releases, and then help our customers to evolve their IT. So if you have maintained, I would highly recommend, if you choose Automator, to have an active maintenance, so you get all the new features and new software releases. Automator is based on a SQL database, so you need a SQL in the background. It can be the free release, the how is it called? Just not coming into my mind. The free SQL server, or you can use a shared SQL server, so no additional license is needed. Or of course you can use a dedicated SQL server, but the license then needs to be paid by you, of course. But the resources are very low, the prerequisites. So thanks SQL Express. Thanks for Yaroslav. It is SQL Express. So a lot of customers using SQL Express, so we do not need that much resources. It's just to store those services and to store this information. The most power is used by the automation, but that's then the PowerShell script. But to store all the services and the role-based access and all this information, we need SQL, but that can be a low performance SQL as well. So no extra license needed, but if you like, you can use it. We've done a return of investment calculation a few months ago with our customers together for each of our different licenses. So this is not something we think looks good. So those are real life examples, real life numbers from our customers. In this presentation, we go with the rookie license. On our web page, we have for each license those return of investment calculations. So if you need a different license, go over to our web page and see those calculations. So this customer was around 1,800 users. He needs the rookie license, and we implemented 3 services at the beginning: user onboarding, password reset, and out-of-office reply. So the initial cost at the beginning was the license and the consulting time, or the hours what we needed for the implementation for the automation. So this was around 8,800 euros at the first year. The savings in the first year we calculated for the user onboarding. The customer had around 10 new users each month. We calculated 1.5 hours per user. We have customers they are taking longer, of course, but want to take the lower numbers. So the first year we saved 249 hours, so nearly 250 hours, and calculated with an IT employee, he needs to do these manual steps. We saved 9,000 euro at the first year. So if you remember, 8,000, nearly 9,000 to 9,000, we reached a return of investment after the first year. And then you have time for different things. So the idea is to automate all those manual steps, which is not, which should not be done manually, automated, delegated to different teams, and take care of different things in your IT department. So evolve, go to the cloud, new services, new feature, new products, whatever. But those manual steps, user onboarding, SCOM related things, delegate those with self-service portal to the other people, and do not take care and do not do this manually by any IT guys. So at the end, what's next? If you liked our software, if you like what you saw, you need to convince your team leader, or your supervisor, your CEO. If you want to get the license, we have a lot of partners around the globe, or you can go directly to our shop or directly get the license from us. With the automation workflow consulting, also we have a lot of partners you can ask if you need help. Of course, you can do it by yourself, or you can book our premium services so we can help you with the consulting and the automation. A question from Jaroslav: can an automation be scheduled? Right now, no, but this will be a near feature which will be added. So then you can also schedule a PowerShell script and automation daily, once an hour, once whatever. But yes, this will be a new feature in the near future. Complicated sentence, but I think you get it. So at the end, if you like what you saw, you can go to our webpage and download our self-service portal for free. So you can use it for free without any time limitations, up to 2 services. So you can build 2 services and use them as you like. If you want more, then you need to get the license. Here's also our GitHub link where you get all those automations for free. You can use it as you like. And just a hint, we have a few more webcasts coming the next weeks or month. So go to au2mator.com events. We have next week, you have something related to Active Directory. And then in October, we have Office 365 and Azure. So if you like and interested to see self-service tasks related to Active Directory, Azure, Office 365, go over to our event homepage and please sign up for those webcasts. So now we are at the end. If you have any questions, I will stop the recording right now. So if you have any questions, just let me know, and you can still type it into the chat window, or if you want to talk, I will activate your microphone. Just let me know. So thanks for your time and enjoy your weekend.